Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin-yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Sunday, November 8th, just after midnight, which is our plight. Here is just 12 hours into the model, and you can see heavy snow falling in the west. But the big story is Fairbanks, Alaska, setting a snowfall record set back in 1970. 50 years ago, and it's bracing for a second winter storm. Keep calm. It's boom time. Let's get back to Fairbanks. Even before interior Alaskans have a chance to dig out from this week's record snowfall, another storm is on the way, and a big one. A total of 14.7 inches of snow fell between 8 p.m. Thursday and 8 p.m. Friday, eclipsing, barely, the 14.6 inches that was recorded back in 1970. And more snow is falling. Las Vegas sets another heat record, but rain and record snow is coming to Mount Charleston. And this is after it hasn't rained in Las Vegas in over 99 days. Grand solar minimum much? We predicted this 3 years ago. Extreme heat, followed by extreme cold, extreme unpredictability in agriculture, and basic insanity. Snow in the Sierras. Winter weather advisory continues through Sunday. Trump wins in this one, apparently. The first week of winter weather rolled into the Sierras and expected to stick around until Sunday afternoon. Light snow flurries could be seen in the Nyacs, but there is some depths coming to the system, and none of which they're talking here, but we're going to get to the models quickly. Heavy snow is possible Sunday across Montana. We talked about that earlier this morning. Bozeman still on track for severe winter storms across Montana on Saturday night into Sunday right now. And winter storm and blizzard warnings have increased to over 16 counties. And we're going to get to that, as well as record cold. Forecasters say more snow is headed to New Mexico and Arizona. And Tropical Storm Eta's path to Florida with the spaghetti models is, showing it's going to hit Florida twice. It's going to come over and rafe the southern region and come back through the state. And Eta is going to be one for the record books. Let's hear what they have to say.
Okay, South Florida, here we go with a busy couple of days. We have, of course, a tropical storm warning in effect for Palm Beach County. We have a tropical storm watch in effect for the Treasure Coast, and a flood watch that goes until Tuesday, all because of this. This is Eta moving in toward Cuba and then eventually working in close to South Florida with a landfall likely now around the Keys on Monday. The track brings it in. I think the most important thing to notice in the next 24 hours is the fact that it's almost a hurricane off our coastline. That is just after midnight on Sunday. Could it be a hurricane? Absolutely. It's within 4 miles an hour being a hurricane. We now have a hurricane watch for Miami-Dade and Broward County, so it's not out of the question that just a couple hundred miles away there could be a hurricane on our doorstep. So everyone should be watching this very closely. I know some people, because we're not in the error cone, consider this a non-issue. I would not. It's a pretty significant deal, especially tomorrow night and Monday, and I'll show you why in a second. And then it slows down in the Gulf just off the coast of Fort Myers and Naples, almost sits here for like 2 to 3 days, maybe even longer. And that's just going to keep us in this very rich tropical air that's going to bring in more rainfall. So we are looking at a significant flooding issue here through the middle of next week. You know, the computer model tracks, and they're in pretty good agreement of stalling it on Tuesday and Wednesday off the west coast of Florida, and then eventually pushing what's ever left up to the north after that. So it is one that is going to have an impact on our weather for a while. Now we have, of course, watches and warnings coming out. This is the flood watch that is in effect for the Treasure Coast until Tuesday at 4 a.m. Tuesday until 7 p.m. for Palm Beach County. We can see upwards of 5 to 8 inches of rain. Locally higher amounts are also possible. I'll go back a frame here too, because we also have the tropical storm warning in blue. That is for Palm Beach County, tropical storm watch for the Treasure Coast, and they'll continue into Monday. And we also have that hurricane watch that is for Broward and Miami-Dade. And rainfall totals, let's take a look. We're looking at about 5 to 8 inches of rain, locally higher amounts. And when we say locally higher, it's not out of the question to see a foot of rain in some areas. We picked up
Not out of the question, according to the guy who's in charge with the pink tie. And we concur. Give him a thumbs up over there at South Florida WPTV News. And I just subscribed. Tell them Diamond sent you, and they'll have no idea what just happened. Now let's check out the National Hurricane Center for the official. There is Eta about to make landfall on Cuba, sustained winds at 65. It may, in fact, it's approaching hurricane status here. So we're going to have to watch this closely. 991 millibars, significant storm, bringing heavy rain, flash flooding to the southern tip of Florida. So be aware. And let's just walk through the GFS model for you snow junkies. Here we are, Sunday at midnight, and then Sunday morning. The Sierras are going to be seeing those white flakes. It's going to be glorious. And the blizzard warnings and watches and heavy snowfalls out throughout Montana and throughout Colorado, including my region. It's going to shift over here, and there's going to be some snow falling all the way down to southern Arizona and to Flagstaff. So heads up, and it's going to continue to move from the northwest down to the southeast as the second wave moves through Monday. There's another system here. Look at that. All the way till Tuesday morning. And then it's going to move up to the Midwest, bringing that heavy swath of snow, I said, up through Iowa and southeastern Minnesota, even Wisconsin, going to pick up some heavy totals. So heads up for these regions. Heads up, Nebraska. You're also going to pick up on it, so kiss my aska. I told you so. Winter storm continues in the west. Hurricane watch is issued for South Florida. Who knew? Well, we just told you, so you knew. You're in the right place here. Thumb it up. Please hit the thumbs up button. That helps our algorithm. I'm just going to sit here and wait until everyone watching in the live hits the thumbs up. So go ahead and do it because it might be a long wait. Waiting. Just hit that thumb up. Just thumb it up. Just like push the button, man. Push it. Okay. Significant winter storm will produce areas of rain, snow, and gusty winds and near record cold across much of the west, with significant hazards from blizzard conditions to very heavy snow in Montana. Eta will approach South Florida as a strong tropical storm on Sunday, which will be our fun day. Blizzards in Montana and, well, Eta approaching South Florida. What could you ask for more, 2020? Hello. Okay, dangerous storm surge, gusty winds, heavy rain up to 18 inches. 18 inches. I just said it. I just eclipsed that guy. Magnitude 5.1 strikes near Anchorage, Alaska. This morning we reported on it right after it happened. But there is some slight damage, and they're showing an entire collapsed city here, which has nothing to do with it. So let's go over to the seismic map. No quakes of note. They've upgraded, downgraded, and re-upgraded this quake all day. It went from 6.4 to 5.9 back up to 6.1. So, isn't that fun? So there's that. But there's actual news. Hawaii's Volcano National Park this week. The USGS Hawaiian Volcano Observatory talks about innovative techniques used to monitor the crater lake. So this is how innovative their technique is. They're going to look at the color of the lake and see how it changes. I mean, that's amazing. I would have never thought of that. Evacuations begin as Indonesia's most active volcano rumbles. We're the first to report on it ever in the YouTubeosphere because the mainstream's certainly not going to report on it. Mount Merapi had an uptick 3 days ago. They raised the level from 2 to 3. And we know what Merapi is capable of. Indonesian authorities have been evacuating people living on the volatile Mount Merapi volcano's fertile slopes following an increase in volcanic activity, as they should. So keep an eye on that, kids. Klutcheskov just popped off at 20,000. It did it earlier today, and we reported on it. Let's check space weather news. Boom! We're getting high sea flares. This baby is reactivating. And I just want to refresh this. Let's go check out what we're talking about. If it will even play. Probably not. So, no, it's not going to play for us. But this is actually, if we had any bandwidth, would be actually to play for you. So this is the active region in question coming around here. You can see it snap, crackling, and popping. So, and we've just refreshed this to check out the C flare activity. And we're looking at a C7 here, easily a C7, C8. no information on it, but the sunspot and the X-ray flux was decreasing for over a 24-hour period here. And then you can see I saw a rapid uptick. We had a C3 earlier when I started the research for the show, and then now we're doing it live, and now we've just had a C7. So we've had a major uptick in activity coming off of this new solar cycle 25 sun, and it's going to only get more fun, hun. And look at that snap, crackle, pop in that region. If need be, I'll do an update in the morning on solar activity exclusively. But let's get along with the podcast, and let's keep it neat and tight. Asteroid the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza set to pass Earth tomorrow. Now, this isn't the election asteroid, which is more like the size of someone's econo van. But this one's a big one. An asteroid that could be almost 600 feet wide is set to fly by Earth on Saturday, according to sources, at a speed of more than 29,000 miles per hour, which is not that fast. It's quite slow, actually. The asteroid named 2020 TY1, that's not TV1, so don't check for that channel, was first discovered in October. It's expected to pass at a distance of 3.5 million miles, which is further than Vegas, by the way. It's about 14 times the distance between the Earth and the Moon, which means this baby is only potentially going to hit maybe a satellite. Or nothing at all, probably. They never do. Dinosaurs once crossed oceans. Now, this is how little we know about these animals. The first duck-billed dinosaur fossil discovered in Africa probably migrated across the Atlantic. Now, the reason why this is plausible is because, well, let's say 220 million years ago, the Atlantic was only 8 feet wide. And then about 190 million years ago, it was only 8 miles wide. So it's quite plausible, and these idiots don't mention that dinosaurs swam across the ocean. But I just told you the facts, and they can suck it. Now let's look at some cool shit, because scientists are so stupid that they don't want to actually tell you what's going on. And that really rubs me wrong. This weird rock naturally glows in the dark, but it doesn't. So another lie. It's not glowing in the dark. It's glowing in the light too. And now scientists have figured it out. Only the headline is completely wrong. So the journalists are pathetic, which we know. There's no such thing as a journalist today. They're advocates for whoever is representing the article they're writing. So someone says, here's 10 grand, say this. And then they say, oh, sure, I'll do that. So that is where we are today in modern society. The word journalism should literally be killed. And no one that's reporting on any of these facts over here should be called journalists. They should be called advocates, because they're advocating for the multinational corporation that paid for the study, period. Now, there is some interesting mineralogy coming out from the study. What they determine is that the titanium in these inclusions. Now, if you look at any rock, including muscovite, which expresses in a pink condition, or any mineral that expresses pink, the pink is typically titanium inclusion. So within the crystal lattice of a pure white or a pure mineral that's typically non-expressing a color, if you add titanium, you'll get pink. You add other minerals, you get blue and green, etc. But pink, the moniker for pink is titanium. So, and what they found here is that the titanium in this pink mineral here, which is called Hakmonite, let's get that correct, Hakmonite. Hakmonite has a titanium inclusion to make it Hakmonite, and that titanium inclusion tweaks the crystal lattice in such a way that electron exchange happens, and there's some excitement in there, and it glows. It's completely fascinating. I'm fascinated. Check out the article for more information. Did you know when society is about to fall apart? How do you know? How would any of us know? Well, read the article, because it's about to fall apart. I hope you got something out of the video. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to prepare you. And society is about to fall apart. based on a multiplicity of things. But the most important thing you need to know is to be prepared for a grid down scenario. If you don't know what that is, go to your DuckDuckGo and type in grid down scenario. And then shit your pants. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. When the sun is about to shut down the grid and you don't even know how to grow food, or where wild edibles come from, or how to fish or hunt, and you barely have shit in the closet, we're praying for you. Be safe. My Patriot Supply. Preparewiththeranch.com. Preparewiththeranch.com. Do it now.